All right, so let's keep going here. In this video, we're going to talk about getters and setters. Now, if you have had some experience with any object-oriented programming language, you may understand what what getters and setters are. Essentially, they are a way in which we can actually set and get variables, instance variables that are in our class. Implicitly, our class here, microphone class, has getters and setters that are implicit. Which means when we go ahead and say mic.model, we are accessing the model, is equal to whatever we are setting it to be, we are setting this model to something. So all of the instance variables that are not static, okay, in our class, our blueprint, they have getters and setters implicitly. Okay, so you don't really have to create getters and setters. But there are times that you may want to create a getter and a setter. Dart gives you that flexibility as well. Now let's go and learn how to do that. What I'm going to do at the bottom here, right after we have created this named constructor, I'm going to go ahead and say, for instance, I want to create getters and setters for name. What I would do, I would use in this case, it's going to be a type string. The string, I'm going to say get, right? This is the keyword for a getter. I'm going to just, for now, I'm just going to get name. And I'm going to use this notation that we learned, which means returns. I'm going to say returns name, okay? And to set, so my column there, I'm going to say set. Let's see, which name is this going to be? It's going to be our name, our instance variable there. And to set, I'm going to go to say set. Okay, that's the keyword, set name. And I'm going to pass a value here, which is going to be a string type. Just say value in this case, which then is going to go ahead like that. And I'm going to go ahead and use the same notation here. I'm going to say, so now we're going to set the name, right? We could have said that name, but it's the same thing. I'm going to set it to the value that we're passing, right? Because this value has been passed here. So when we set name, whatever we pass here, it's going to be the name. That's it. Okay, so this is a setter. Let's go ahead and see how this will work. So let's go down here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and comment all of this out. So we have more space. I'm going to put this at the bottom. Now let's go ahead and see how to actually use getters and setters in this case, since we created them right at the top here, right? Getter and setter. I'm going to go ahead and say mic. I'm going to say dot set name. Now you notice set name, logically we would have to pass in a string as such. But we're going to have an issue here because this set name is not necessarily a true or a real setter, if you will, because the whole idea behind Dart is that they want to make sure that you don't have to write setters and getters, but just in case you really need to do so, they give you that flexibility. And so the way we call things when we talk about setters and getters is a little bit different. Now we're going to use them as attributes, which means now we can go ahead and say like this and say new name, for instance. If you click on this set name, you'll see that it's going to highlight this set name here, okay? So now to call this, I'm going to say print to get the get name. I'm going to go ahead and say mic dot get name as such, and voila, all is good. Right? So if we go ahead and run, say new name, that's what we set, and get name is giving us the new name, which we set here. It's just something that I thought I would show you. That way you would at least know that it's possible to do. But in any case, unless all of your instance variables or memory variables are static, then you don't really need to do the getters and setters because they are implicitly given to you, right? Because we can just go ahead and call microphone.name and set. It will set, and if you say microphone.name, it's also a way for us to get. Okay, so setters and getters are already set for you. All right, perfect. I'll see you in the next video.